might still be in there. Gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that the Board of Directors for Pioneer Lions and the members of the Pioneer Lions welcome you as new members today. We want to let you know you're joining the largest service organization in the world. 1.35 million members in 44,000 clubs in 208 countries. This whole thing started back in 1917 when a Chicago businessman by the name of Melvin Jones got together with some of his fellow business people and said, we need to do something for the less fortunate in our area. We're talking Chicago, Illinois at that time, and of course, there were plenty of those people. One of the statements that's attributed to him is, you could never be anybody until you do something for somebody else. And so that's what it's all about. We primarily are involved in sight and hearing. We got involved in sight when Helen Keller was a guest of at the convention that was held by the Lions in 1925, and she challenged the Lions at that time to become Knights for the Blind. That's what this candle that you're holding represents. That will be your light guiding you in your service as a Lion. If you'll look back here on this banner, you'll see a large letter L encircled by a gold ring, and that represents strength and unity. One side of this ring is a lion facing forward in the direction of new things to come, one facing back in celebration of things done in the past. With that, Cindy.
All right. Since you've expressed a desire to be a member of Pioneer Lions, I now ask that you respond to my words with a simple I do. Do you accept membership in Pioneer Lions knowing that you are encouraged to participate in all functions of the club?
I do.
To the best of your ability, will you abide by the Lions Code of Ethics, attend meetings, and contribute to the programs of your club, district, and Lions Club International?
I do.
No, gave me. They don't have the other sheet.
All right,
Why do I know this
From memory?
Power vested in me.
Yeah.
I declare
Go
you to
for
be
it.
members of the Longview Pioneer Lions.
All right.
Sponsors, will you mentor your new member?
Yes.
Will the club mentor the new members?
Yes.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. All right. Welcome to, we need the red badge. Sponsor would pin the red badge on.
Don't burn yourself, Duncan.
So red badge of courage.
And then pin their membership pin on their little one, please. All right. Welcome to Pioneer Lions. All right, so we have 4 requirements for you to become a blue badge member. Do you know what those requirements are?
I have to attend the board meeting, I have to attend a function, and I have to do a visitation. I've already completed my visitation in Winlock.
That doesn't count because you didn't have your red badge.
Then we'll do another one.
Have to do it after you get your red badge.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do a board meeting,
Yes, and I need a
visitation,
Attend the board meeting and attend a visitation.
orientation.
Orientation.
work party.
All right, now you guys get a minute to talk about yourselves, about your private lives, so we can get to know you better. So we'll start off with Jerry.
Well, I've been a member here at the Eagles for 30 years. I'm secretary and chairman of the board of trustees. It's been fun. I know what you people are about, and you know what we're about.
We are about.
It's people helping people. God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I grew up starting in like 1959, in Cowlitz County, and I worked for a gentleman that I should have signed up a long time ago. His name was Lester Kentwood. He managed dairy and Castle Rock, and I was one of his milk parlor boys. And he always kept doing such great things moving around the country. And I got to milk cows when he was gone and when he was home, because he was so busy with the Lions at that time. And that was an inspiration as a young man. As we get older, we forget. But a good friend of mine now, Duncan Wallace, brought my attention that this is a good group and organization. And I used to think I never had the time to be a Lion. And I can tell you, with members like Duncan, he helps you make the time. When you find out that everybody can make an excuse, but you all have to remember to take the time. And I'm really honored to be able to be a member of Pioneer Lions, and hope you guys will mentor and teach me how to take that time and help our community. Thank you.
Congratulations
So-
to you too.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess we should congratulate you.
Yeah.
For Lion of the Month and Unsung Lion of the Month in March. Yes, March 2014. I'm going to start off with our first lion for our Unsung Lion of the Month. This lion has been involved in the Lions for a long time. Is a past president. Is influential in she's on the awards committee, and she's really involved in lots of other things. Sorry about that. Keep that mic. Yeah. Anyway, she's involved in lots of things. Involved in the Sunshine Committee, chairing that, making sure that people, seeing how they're doing health-wise, and keeping up with the Lions and the members of our club. And we just want to show our appreciation to the past president and respect for all the
They gave it away a little ahead of time.
What's that? Oh, each mic, right. For Lion of the Month of March, this lion is very active. You'll see him just about at every function, see him almost at every meeting, running around. You see him and you wonder how the road's keeping up with anything. And for the committee, for the awards committee, we went out and we selected an officer that we usually don't recognize officers of the club. I don't like this mic. Anyway, the Lion of the Month for the month of March is Lion Secretary Guy Hutt.
So Keith, who's your sponsor? Who's your sponsor, man?
That's Council Chair.
All right.
Ken Miller. But what I want to do is give him a great round of applause because he's brought us 4 good programs, what's it, 5 good programs this month.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Well, President Doug, fellow Lions and guests, it's my pleasure today to introduce to you Danielle Ramey. She's going to be making a presentation on the Make-A-Wish Foundation. She's a Longview native, and she works at that Reynolds site down on the river, a place called Millennium. Anyway, she has kept me traveling down the middle of the road and out of the ditches for the last 3 years. And I made a deal with her. I won't embarrass her if she doesn't embarrass me. So let's give a warm Pioneer Lions welcome to Danielle Ramey.
Hi everybody, I'm Danielle Ramey, and like Ken said, I'm the administrative assistant at Millennium Bulk Terminals, and I am a Make-A-Wish ambassador. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about Make-A-Wish. Oh yeah, Ken, I'm gonna need you to change the slide soon. Pretty much every year. And so one day she sat me down and talked about it, and I just fell in love with the organization. And basically our mission is to grant wishes for children who are fighting life-threatening medical conditions. And the mission started about 30 years ago with a little boy named Chris. Chris got diagnosed with leukemia he was 4.5 years old. And after 2.5 years of treatment, Chris's mom noticed that there wasn't any changes and he wasn't getting any better. His mom decided one day to sit Chris down and talk to him and be like, hey Chris, if you could go anywhere, meet anyone, do anything or have anything, what would your wish be? And Chris decided that he wanted to be a police officer for the State Patrol in Arizona. Well, Chris's mom, just like any other parent I'm sure would do, started getting on the phone and making phone calls to everyone she knew. And 30 years ago, we didn't have the internet and texting like we do now, so it was actually quite a task. Everybody she talked to wanted to make Chris's wish come true. And within about 48 hours, state troopers showed up at his hospital room. They had a little tiny uniform replica, which is in the picture, of theirs. They took him out in his state patrol car, gave him a ride, and then had a ceremony where he was honored with being a state trooper. That happened 4 days before he passed away. Yeah, so sad. Not all the kids pass away, but there's been some incidences where some do. So from that one wish, that's how the organization started. And today, Make-A-Wish is all over the world in many, many countries and communities, helping kids grant their wishes before the inevitable happens, unfortunately. And a wish is a really powerful thing to be involved in. I'm involved in my third one right now. My first one was actually for a little boy here in Longview, Washington. He was 7 and had brain cancer and a tumor growing in his head. His wish was to take his 2 brothers and his mother, who is actually only 28 years old, to Disneyland. So we got to do that, and that was really exciting and really fun. And the second wish, I actually didn't start out doing it, but I got asked to take over it for a couple people here in the community who couldn't continue on with it. And it was for a boy, he was 14, I believe, and had leukemia. And his wish was to go on a shopping spree. He was really into computers and games and things like that. And so we actually went down, took a private bus down to, what's the name of the store? One of the electronic stores, Best Buy, down in Jansen Beach. And he got to spend about $5,000, I believe. And then we got to go to dinner and lunch and go to the mall and spend whatever was left over. And that was a pretty good day. It was really awesome to be a part of that. And then my newest wish is for a 14-year-old girl who is actually from here in Longview. And she keeps debating on her wish. She wants to go to Hawaii with her dad and her aunt, because those are the most important people to her. Or she wants to go meet Buddy, the cake boss, and build a cake with him, which is, I didn't know he did that, but apparently he does. We just found out, so that's really exciting. A wish is something that kids can look forward to. Most of their days are spent in the hospital. The little girl we're dealing with now has been in the hospital for 4 or 5 years, actually. And we were supposed to be granting her wish last month, but unfortunately she got sick again and is going through treatments again. So a wish can take anywhere from a couple months to accomplish to even a year or 2, depending on their health. And we turn to the doctors. That's how we find out if they're eligible for a wish. And that's kind of where it all starts. It just gives them something to look forward to besides doctor's appointments, medical procedures. Typically when you go in and visit a kid, they're got IVs hooked up, and it's just sad seeing someone so young dealing with it. It's really hard. And there are 4 different types of wishes they can go on. The first wish is I wish to go. They can go pretty much almost anywhere in the world. 70% of our kids want to go to Disneyland. And that's a pretty common one. We have a really, really good relationship with Disneyland. Our last kid who went to Disneyland actually got a ride on the new Cars airplane. About 12 of our Make-A-Wish kids were on the first flight to go to Disneyland on that, and they got to be at the reveal party, and our family actually got interviewed by the news channels, so that was really exciting. And I couldn't be in Seattle to see him off, so it just was really nice to get to watch him and see what he said and see how excited his kid or his brothers were and stuff like that. The next wish is I wish to have. So kids can wish to have, I mean, we don't give away cars and things like that, but they can get laptops, iPads, TVs. One of our kids actually walked away with a screen like that at Best Buy because he wanted to have a huge screen to play his Nintendo games on and stuff, and so that was really fun. And then another wish is I wish to be. I haven't gotten to be a part of one of these wishes, but I feel like this would be the most exciting one. Recently, one of our fellow ambassadors up in Seattle got to have a kid be a secret agent for 3 days. And so the fight started in Seattle. He was chasing this villain who had kidnapped the Seattle Seahawk, Blitz, I think is his name. So the evil villain had Blitz stuck on a motorboat in Lake Washington, and the kid got to fly in a helicopter and chase him through there, and then finally chase him down and rescue Blitz, and that was really, really fun to see. Make-A-Wish is really good about telling us what's going on in our own chapter, so they'll send us pictures and stuff of other wishes that are going on. They're a great resource, so you can call anyone in the organization and just be like, hey, I have this kid who wants to do this or that, how can you help me, what can I do, and things like that. So I really hope someday I get to be a part of these Make-A-Wishes, the Wish to Be, but there's only about 1% of kids who do that. And then the other wish is I wish to meet, and about 5% of the kids want to do that. A bunch of kids have obviously met the Seahawks lately. We had Macklemore, who's from Seattle and is a famous singer, meet a couple kids. I think Peter's wife actually got to have a kid meet Beyonce. That was really exciting. So it's just a really fun organization to be a part of, even though it's kind of for a sad reason. And the average wish cost about, it can range from anywhere depending on the kid's health. Sometimes we have to arrange for there to be wheelchairs to help them places, and they need special medicines to take with them, or some of them take oxygen tanks. So the average wish is about $5,000. And we get lots of generous donations from just independent people, from corporations. A lot of airlines actually donate fly miles, so a lot of the flights actually come for free, which is really awesome, and anybody's allowed to do that too. We do our best to grant the wishes for every child that's available. At any given time, the Alaska-Washington chapter has about 300 kids waiting for their wishes to be granted. And as soon as one wish gets granted, another kid becomes eligible. I'm not exactly sure the percentage of how many are from Longview, Cowlitz County area, but I think last year there was about 15 of them. And we have myself as an ambassador and 3 other ladies who do it. If anybody else is interested in helping or becoming one, that would be really awesome. They send you a list and you get to see who's available and what's going on, and if you have the time, you can go for it. And if you don't have the time, they totally understand, so there's no pressure. It's just a really great organization, and the more people we could get involved here, the better it would be. I know it's not very well known here in Longview, but I'm going to do my best to spread the word. So thank you all. And if you guys have any questions or anything, yes?
So by saying you get a list, if you become an ambassador, you choose a child off that list and then try to make their wish come true? You go see them? How does that work?
Yes. So basically, a doctor, a parent, a guardian, a friend, or even the child itself can contact our organization and make the referral. After that, then we get with the doctors and talk to them about the medical eligibility, and depending on when that is when the kid will start the process. After that, it's my job to go to the kid's home, meet the family, we go in twos. And one person's normally going over all the legal paperwork and the paperwork with the adult, and the other person actually gets to interview the child and find out what his favorite color is, or what his favorite book is, or cartoons and music. I mean, you just get to dive right in and find out everything about him. And then after that, the process can be extremely fast. Right away, you make it happen, and then you throw this little party saying, here's your wish. Our Disneyland kid, he got this huge cake with like Mickey Mouse and everything, and that's how we presented to him that this is your wish. And we get an itinerary from the Seattle office, and so we go over that with them. And then you get to actually go to the airport and say goodbye, and when they come home, you can say hello, and they tell you about your trip, and they show you pictures and things like that.
So who actually creates the wish, though? The people in Seattle? That's where the...
It's a combination of both of us. We basically find out what the wish is and the little things that can make it special, and send all that information to Seattle. And Seattle reaches out to the celebrity they want to meet, or uses all their resources to make the wish come together and happen. And then you just kind of go back and forth for a while until finally all the details are nailed down. And then they'll send you everything you need to know to tell the kid and the family what they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else got questions?
What's it like to work for Ken Miller?
It's fantastic. It's the best job I've ever had.
You got your money, boys, Ken.
They're actually all really great to work for. Yeah. Yes?
Is there a limit, like on the trips, like when you go to Disneyland, is it like a 3-day trip or a 7-day trip? How do you...
It kind of just depends on what they want to do, and yeah, what their health is and what they can handle. Typical trips are about 4 days. I think some kids have had 7, but that's a lot. So it really just depends. Anybody else? No?
Danielle?
Yes, Doug?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I have 2 things to give to you.
Oh, really? Yay.
One is our Lions Bug, is our appreciation for you coming today.
Thank you.
And after hearing all your interest in the community, I think an application for the Lions Club is appropriate, and I'm sure Ken will be more than happy to sponsor you.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Thank you very much.